A new report claims that the upcoming BioWare game Dragon Age the Veilguard is completely and utterly degenerate, even more degenerate than what we have previously reported. Before we get to this, I'd like to ask you, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos here at the Trent Report. Wrote this up over at thatparkplace.com. And yes, indeed, a new report heavily implies that the upcoming Dragon Age the Veilguard game is indeed pornographic. This is coming from a report from Game Informer's Wesley LeBlanc after he did a playtest with the game, specifically the game's character creator. And he revealed that he was able to adjust a female character's bust size while viewing her naked. This is what he reported. We were customizing a feminine rook, and while adjusting body options, our rook's shirt disappeared to let us customize things like chest size. From there, LeBlanc reported that the game's game director, a man who pretends to be a woman and calls himself Corrine Bush, smiled, likely knowing full well that nudity in the character creator means nudity elsewhere in the game, like in Veilguard's romances. Definitely sounds like pornography. As for whether players will be exposed to genitalia, LeBlanc wrote this: I'm told that's something BioWare wants to let fans discover for themselves in the game. Bush also informed him, quote, this is a mature RPG. Why does something now automatically, if it's mature, mean all kinds of degenerate pornographic material in it? Remember when mature was just maybe about violence and maybe like drugs or something like that? Now it is about all kinds of sexual deviancy and pornography. Sick stuff, man. Bush previously informed IGN that there would be, quote, spicy sex scenes in the game, heavily implying the inclusion of pornography as well. While discussing how the game's companions will interact with the player character, Bush detailed this: their past experiences or partners, they'll reference them, and indeed who they'll become romantic with. For instance, we saw Harding, that's the female dwarf in the trailer. I might be playing a straight male character flirting with her, but I choose not to pursue a romance. She might get together with Tosh, that's the Kunari. So my perception, my identity has no bearing on their identities, and that comes through really strongly. It's not until the later parts of the game where you really commit to romance, and it gets pretty spicy. He then confirmed that the game features sex scenes. IGN's Alex Stedman wrote this: of course, Dragon Age the Veilguard is a BioWare game, and games from the studio, specifically those in the Mass Effect and Dragon Age series, are known to have some fairly explicit sex scenes. Bush confirms that the Veilguard will be no different, particularly towards the end of the game. Bush told him this, or this is what he quoted him saying: of course, we are an M-rated game. We do have nudity. Bush elaborated, saying, our companions, we want them to be relatable and fully realized so they can get spicy, but in a way that I think people will actually relate to. Some of them are more spicy than others. Just like real life, our companions have such diverse personalities. Some of them are more physical, more aggressive, and some of them are more... We have a gentleman necromancer, for instance, that is more intimate and sensual. So I think this is clear that this game is going to feature quite a bit of pornography. It is an instant dead on arrival for me. I will not be purchasing it. It's sick stuff. And this stuff is wrong. What they're doing is wrong. Trying to spread it to a general audience is evil. The Catechism of the Catholic Church is clear on this. It says the political community has a duty to honor the family, to assist it, and to ensure especially the protection of security and health, especially with respect to dangers like drugs, pornography, alcoholism, etc. Pornography should be banned. This game should be banned for having pornography in it. The Catechism also explains why pornography is wrong. It's wrong because it offends against chastity, because it perverts the conjugal act, the intimate giving of spouses to each other. It does grave injury to the dignity of its participants, actors, vendors, the public, since each one becomes an object of base pleasure and illicit profit for others. It immerses all who are involved in the illusion of a fantasy world. It is a grave offense. Civil authorities should prevent the production and distribution of pornographic materials. Indeed, they should. That is why this game should be banned, and no one should be purchasing this. It's disgusting. It's degenerate. Pornography also makes you stupid. Pat Flynn explains this at Catholic Answers. He says the traditional thought is that sin not only makes us weak, but stupid. Viewing pornography, participating in pornography is indeed sinful. That wasn't already clear. Flynn goes on and says, sin blunts conscience progressively over time. That is, diminishes our grasp of moral reality, impairing our ability to reason to proper moral conclusions. Consequently, sin can and often does lead to greater sin, along with the failure to realize not just that we are sinning, but also how awful our sinning has become. It makes you stupid. Viewing pornography literally makes you stupid. And that's probably the whole point of including it in this game and trying to market it to a general audience. Is they want the players to be stupid. They want the general population to be dumb. They want you to be dumb and stupid. So when they pull the rug out from under you, you won't say anything because you're too dumb to realize it's being pulled out from underneath you. That's the whole purpose of this. And that's why we must say no. And we have an answer to combat this degeneracy. Flynn expertly writes this: God's grace, surely, but also setting better examples and living the Christian ethic fully, especially the Christian sexual ethic, to attract those non-religious folks who are still, thankfully, repulsed by the increasing deceptive darkness that just is the logical extension of the sexual revolution, from the constant promotion of pornography and masturbatory practices to contraception and seeing others as mere instruments of self-pleasure, to redefining marriage, to feign the illusion that two people of the same sex can actually be married, and so on. So if you didn't get it there, pornography and homosexuality are connected, and they are. Remember, it makes you stupid. Sin makes you stupid. You are unable to reason to proper moral conclusions, and allows them to pull the rug out from underneath you, which they've done. We've seen the slippery slope. We've seen how this leads. We've seen what the extension of the sexual revolution leads to. We now have people like Corinne Bush, a man who thinks he is a woman, who is pretending to be a woman. That's who's making this game. That is who the game director is. But we can combat this. We have God's grace, and we can lead by example. We can live the Christian ethic fully, and that is what we are going to do. We are going to live that Christian ethic fully, and we are not going to be purchasing this game. We are going to continue to call this game out, continue to call out its degeneracy. And we're going to shout it from the rooftops here at the Trent Report. Those are my thoughts on the matter. Let me know what you guys make of this. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, especially to each other, but to always speak the truth.